Alright fellas, I'm about to do something I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but just never had the time. Or was just too lazy to order the part. But I'm going to replace the rubber hoses for the calipers with these steel braided ones. Heard a lot of good things about them. And I tried to look up and see if I could find any videos on the subject specific to this truck. I mean, it's all over the forums. You know, it's in writing and stuff and walkthroughs, but there's, to my knowledge, I mean, I couldn't find any videos on it. All right, so I've never done this before. This will be my first time doing this. But from what I've read up on the subject and the videos that I've seen, from my understanding of this, we have to remove this end of the hose, which is held on by this bolt. In this kit, I'm trying to get these dirty. Came with new bolts and washers, so we'll be using those. And it didn't, I don't know if it's supposed to come with these clips, but you would slide up here to keep the brake lines from moving or rattling around or anything like that. So I'll just be using these old ones with that. And this part, I don't know where I learned it, if I read about it or saw it in a video. But so I'm going to use this 4x4. Hope I can press the brake all the way down. I'll need both hands, so I'll be back in a second in order to be able to do this. So I'll be right back. Okay, that's wedged on there. It's not like perfectly or ideal, but hopefully it'll work. Okay, so that's out, and as you see, there's no fluid actually coming out of the line. So that's a good sign. Okay, hopefully I'm not too close so that you can't see what's being done. There's the new bolt and washer on that side. Here's the other washer, the new washer. I know it's a little out of focus, or rather out of frame, just a shade, but if I try to lower the phone anymore from the tripod that it's on, the phone will just drop. The weight of the phone will drop. Okay. We just gotta tighten this sucker up. Let's see. Oh, the new bolts are a different size. I'll be right back. Yeah, the old bolts, or the heads on the bolts, were 12 millimeter, and the new ones are 14. That's no big deal. And I'll post a link on the I can't even speak. I'll post a link on the description box of the the site where I got this kit from. I'm trying to be careful about over tightening these. Just in general, I have a bad habit of over tightening and breaking bolts. So bear with me. Okay. So I'm going to use these vice grips to clamp them down on the bottom portion of this hose, this brake hose. That way I can get the hard line. I'll have enough leverage to get the hard line loose from the top and not risk bending or stripping anything. Okay.
And in focus for that.
And we're in luck. Looks like pressing the brake pedal worked after all. If I could just get everything where it's supposed to go.
This is actually the tedious part. Let's see if we can get the line threaded in get a couple threads in. That'll help us out a lot. Okay, so we got the bottom end into its groove so that it doesn't move, but now we gotta hold it there while we tighten the hard line. I just gotta tap this clip in real quick. Just making sure I get this on there good. So she doesn't flop out. Hopefully that line's on there good.
Now we bleed it. See how that works. Okay, if you saw that, that was just any trap there in the lines being pushed out. So what I'm going to do now is just pump the brake pedal several times, and then use that 4x4 to hold it in place, and then come back and release the nipple, the valve on the nipple, until we get a good stream of brake fluid shooting out. I'll be right back. Okay, I got the fluid shooting out really strong. I pumped it one last time just so you guys can see it. When I turn the valve, the brake fluid should shoot out nice and pretty good, decent pressure. Alright, fellas, ladies, so I got everything buttoned up, put back together, got the lines bled really good, took the truck for a test drive, and immediately noticed the difference in how the brakes and the pedal handle. The pressing the pedal, the brake pedal, the brakes start activating much sooner when I'm pressing the brake pedal, and they're much stronger, more responsive, which makes the stopping much quicker. So yeah, that's the steel braided brake lines, at least from my perspective. Again, I've never done this before. I've never messed with that, but from my perspective, having the rubber hoses and comparing them to the steel braided brake lines, for me there's a noticeable difference. But again, if you're doing this and you're doing it by yourself, you don't have someone to help you. From my personal experience from doing this several times, the easiest thing, say you're messing with your brakes and you need to bleed them or anything like that, to say you're just bleeding the brakes in general, have an object. In my case, I used that 4x4 and wedged it between the seat and the brake pedal. Say you're bleeding your brakes, you want to press your pedal several times, 3 or more times, and there's no set amount, but 3 or more times is good. And then wedge that object between your seat and your pedal until your pedal is fully pressed. Go back down to the nipple on the caliper, open it up, and repeat the process until you see a steady stream of brake fluid gush out. And that's you'll notice that's when your brakes are good to go. And each time that you do it, you'll notice that as you're following that process, each time you're back in your truck and you're pressing on your brakes, you'll feel them get firmer, stronger, and harder to the pedal be harder to press in, and that's what you want. But if you're doing the same thing as far as changing the lines, your brake lines, just in general. It doesn't have to be the steel braided brake lines. Just say you're just replacing the lines. I don't recall where I learned this, if I read up on it or saw a video on it. But it'll save you a lot of mess, a lot of hassle, and a lot of waste, like wasting brake fluid. So what I did, again, before you open any of your lines from your caliper or from the hard line from the truck side, come down to inside your truck and wedge an object, again in my case a 4x4, between your seat and your pedal, again until it's completely pressed, and just leave it there while you're doing that swap. You'll almost only have to worry about whatever brake fluid is in your caliper pouring out, which is not too much. And as you saw in the video, once I almost nothing, if anything at all, came out of the brake line, the end that's connected to the caliper. And when I removed the hose from the hardline side, no fluid poured out because the brake line was already pressed. So again, that as I've learned, that will save you a lot of hassle, because if you don't press if you don't have your pedal pressed, I'm assuming that once you open up your lines from either side, from the caliper or the hard line, your brake fluid is just going to pour out. It's going to, what do they call it, gravity feed. It's just going to pour out, and that's just seems like a waste. So I would recommend having something to press your brake pedal and have it completely compressed the entire time that you're doing the actual swap. But again, hopefully that'll help you guys out a little bit. Again, I haven't personally tried to find videos on anyone having done this swap on the D21 specifically, and I couldn't actually find any. I mean, they probably are there. Maybe I just didn't look good enough. I mean, there's the in the forums. If you look up in the D21 forums, there's definitely talk of a lot of people have done the swap, but I couldn't find anything with photos or links to videos or anything like that. So, and again, I wanted to do the swap myself, and what better way to learn than by doing. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys this quick little upgrade, and again, it's definitely working. Brakes work so much better. But anyway, hope you guys are digging that, and the info on it makes sense, or hopefully I explained it in a way that it makes sense, and I'll see you.